After the holidays, there's so much to clean up and get ready for the coming year. This leaves me exhausted and a lot of things falling off my to-do list. It's time to lock in, and Omaha Steaks delivers everything you crave to reset after the holidays. An order from them means having high-quality Omaha steaks on hand at all times. I'm a big meat lover myself, and I always go with medium rare. But there's also plenty of poultry and other options available. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. A family-owned company with over 100 years of expertise in the meat industry. Let Omaha Steaks deliver high-quality proteins right to your door. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their end-of-season sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code YUM at checkout. That's OMAHA steaks.com, promo code YUM. Terms apply. See site for details. Go to www.omahasteaks.com to get 50% off site-wide during their end-of-season sale. And use promo code YUM at checkout for an extra $35 off. Minimum purchase may apply. Thanks to Omaha Steaks for sponsoring us.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Alto Called. I am your host, Tane, here to take a break from Married at First Sight to talk about the wonderful, wonderful season that is Love is Blind Season 9 Reunion. Here with me has been my co-host all season long, Brian from Maps Virgin. Hello, Brian. How are you?
What up? I'm frustrated with this whole reunion. They missed opportunities everywhere. So many non sequiturs. I did not like this at all. They might as well has not done this at all for me.
And I think what's worse is they decided that they were going to do it on a Wednesday. They were going to do it at, for those of us on Eastern time, 9 p.m. Not worth the wait at all. Like, just drop it as a regular episode. I would think you would want to put this behind you and keep it moving. Like I told you, my expectations for this reunion was low, and I was not pleasantly surprised.
No.
It could have been an email, like you mentioned. We did not
Real.
get into the nitty gritty. We were not consistent on focusing on what happened on the show. I think that was my biggest gripe. There was a lot of this party, that pool party, here's the pineapple's apartment, then the tangerines flat, or whatever it is, but never about this is what happened in the journey. You said this. What did you mean? And it's almost like, was this two shows? It was not After the Altar. It was the
Right.
actual Love is Blind. Can we focus on that? A lot of fluff. We're not talking about Anton's drinking. That was supposedly a big thing.
Never
And
discussed.
did not talk about Nick and Annie, the LGBTQ conversation. And I'm
Nope.
just, why? This is the point of reunion. So I'm just gonna, I think I need to adjust my settings on what I'm expecting for a Love is Blind reunion. It's just vibes. We're
Yeah.
just here to wrap the season, look pretty, but we're not here to get resolution. And I'm thinking, we discussed this the last time. Housewives, they're here for resolution and for call outs and for roll the footage. I'm shame you. This is what you said. This is not the case here. We have to keep it nice. We have to keep it cute and maybe have some family members in the audience and we smile and play musical
See,
dating chairs.
well, the confusing part is I feel like in previous seasons, like Vanessa would get in somebody's ass if they
Yeah.
had said something wrong on the show,
Yeah.
if they had behaved in a way that, didn't shine a positive. Like, she was not afraid to go at people.
Yeah.
If it's, hey, like what you did is not cool and we gotta
Yeah.
talk about it. There was none of that. None of it this time around.
I will give her grace there because they've gotten to her. We're both podcasters and we know how it is. Well, at least let me speak for myself. You get one bad comment and you're like, oh my God, oh my God. It gets to my head and it's like, okay, maybe you don't say this, so you don't say that. I think they've probably gotten to her. She's never going to ask about someone else's childbearing anymore.
No,
She's not,
don't do
which she shouldn't.
right,
But I'm
right.
just saying, like, these are the things, and now it's like, oh, don't ask this, don't say this, and now they're going all the way to the safe side to the point where it's like, is there a pulse? Is there a
Right.
point of a reunion? And also, is there a point? Because People Magazine has told us, Storytime with Ricky has told us, they have gone on all the podcasts and they've told us the Sun is
Mhm.
following Megan. It's not a thing that she's having a kid now, and it's
No.
the mystery is all gone. So
Yeah, no. Well, I'm sure we'll get into all of them. There were so many things that I was like, how did y'all not even discuss this happening at all? This was something that was pretty major on the show, and we just not even we're
glossed
acting
over.
didn't happen.
Yeah,
Wild to me.
there's no consequences. They didn't do it. We're gonna bitch about it. Tomorrow is another day.
Yeah.
They might as well just go ahead with it. But before we dive in, just to remind you guys about patreon.com/AutoCallMAFS. You can go there to listen ad-free on there, and for bonus episodes, the Sister Wives, there's the challenge, and I'm gonna have some extra bonus episode for maths on there that you can listen to right now. I spoke to the stylist and makeup artist who worked on Britney, and that episode talking to them is up there. Coming back to Love is Blind, Brian, did you see that Love is Blind Italy is coming back?
I did see that. I'm gonna watch it. I don't have any expectations. I'm gonna watch it. I'm a sucker. I'll watch basically any of these, but hopefully it's good. I don't know. My expectations are through the basement floor at this point.
Yeah. So this is my question for you guys out there. What would you like us to cover next? Italy or Brazil?
I've
What do
not
you
watched
think?
either one of them, so whatever one you guys pick, I'm
Yeah.
down for it, and it's gonna be fresh for me.
Yeah, and that's where I'm stuck because we said we were gonna do Brazil, but then it's like Maps came back, and then after Maps, it looks like this is gonna happen immediately
Mhm.
December. But it feels like if we go with Italy, Brazil gets pushed back again and pushed back again, and before we know
Yeah.
it, I just know they're gonna be like Mexico's coming back, and then Brazil is just gonna be left in
And then here comes South Africa. It's just,
the
you know,
Oh, if South Africa comes, we are dropping everything
have to.
to do South Africa
It is always the messiest.
because so yeah, guys, let me know. You can reach me, wherever, DMs and any of the socials, email. Let me know if you prefer Italy or Brazil for us to cover. All right. Why was this reunion filmed outside?
Okay. My first thought was like, is it legitimately outside, or are we on like a soundstage with big ass fans blowing these lanterns around? Because why would you do it outside? The show did not take place outside. There wasn't a whole lot of like nature on the show. I don't know why you would choose this.
I'm again trying to give grace. I'm like, Halloween vibes. Is that what it is? But personally, as a Survivor watcher, I was triggered. I want the live Survivor reunions to come back when Jeff comes with the voting pot and walks in through the crowd and they make all this fake island kind of atmosphere out there. And that's what it was giving for me. And I'm like, wow, if only this was Jeff and not the Lachey's, and if only this was Survivor and not Love is Blind. But what is this? Like, who made this choice?
I don't know. And again, we're both Housewives watchers. We've gotten spoiled by that, where they like theme the
Yeah.
reunion to something that happened on the show every year.
Mm-hmm.
Make this into like a cozy cabin lodge situation because we're in Colorado. Like that would be fine for me. I don't need to see y'all do Western again, but you could did the hell out of that during the season. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. They could have, I mean, they might as well have gone all the way and done the Western thing. He would have fit Joe's
Sure.
boots. Anyways, he was wearing the cowboy
Yeah.
boots.
Do some fake snow and some bighorn sheep, roaming around or something. Like do something. But this felt like the kind of place I would go to if I'm like on vacation in Mexico. We have like a nice outdoor dinner or something like that,
Mhm.
where there's like, a little water feature nearby and stuff. This did not feel like I don't know what they were doing. And people had a hard time walking down those stairs. My wife saw Annie and she's like, I don't think she's drunk, but it's hard to walk down those stairs.
I mean, that's questionable. But um
Um,
it was giving Love Island final date. when they string all the lights and they put on the trees and all that. Well, as if that wasn't enough, they kick it off with Miles Smith singing "Nice to Meet You" as the cast make their way to their seats, and I'm like, first of all, who asked for musical numbers? I think we had Alex Warren or whatever for the last reunion, and I was like, okay, sweet, nice, but this is not American Idol. Who asked for this? Second of all, did they factor in the safety of the ladies in heels? Who had this grand idea? They had to walk down, and I was like, did anyone remember that Madison told us that sometimes she has trouble and she walks into stuff? And again,
In
was
dim
this
light,
all thought out? So yeah, but
weird choices.
basically we start with all the couples that made it to Baja, and for the most part, they all look good. Jordan looked great in his tux. Anton
Mhm.
then in contrast comes in like a regular shirt and pants. I'm like, all right. Edmund looked nice. I mean, it was different. He didn't like dress up, but I liked his coordinated fit
Mhm.
pieces.
It was
And but
muted to him.
he had the pick in his hair. That didn't come
Of
up.
course he did.
That was the question I
No.
wanted. That
Nope.
didn't come up. Yep. Although I can understand, I cannot see how it ends well if the Lachey's ask him
True. They
about
can't ask him,
something
and
like that.
KB can't
So
ask him. That's all we have. So
yeah. Joe is sporting a porn stash now, and like I said, cowboy boots.
I don't like it.
Annie gave that hair a big old blow dry. She sure did.
Sure
Yeah.
did. Cut off a lot of those extensions.
And in case you forgot, we don't have to worry about who's together or not. No one's sitting together because why? No one got married. Another thing that wasn't brought up.
Nope, didn't talk about it. Didn't address it.
Because why? Why should we talk about elephants in the room? Keep them there.
Ugh.
We go straight with Megan and Jordan, and Vanessa mentions how Megan's friends were questioning if she would be compromising her way of life if they got married. And then she asked that now that time has passed, which I think they should have started by mentioning how long after this reunion. They
Right?
mentioned it way after. But
Mhm.
this is a wild question to start the reunion with. We are not starting with how did you get on the show? What were you expecting? Time on the pods. We're just like bachelor party, screw your friends.
Mhm.
And then she turns to Jordan and is like, what do you think is ultimately the reason she broke up with you? And he's like, why are you asking me? She's right
Ask
there.
her.
He's not wrong. Like, you might as well get
No.
it from the source. But I think I can see what they were trying to do. Like, it'll be interesting to see from your perspective, why
Yeah.
do you think she broke up with you? And then she can say the real reason. But the thing is, I don't even think she knows, or she knows and will not like directly come right out and say why they broke up,
Yeah. Well, and Jordan's not messy like that. He's
Mm-mm.
like, oh, I think she thinks I'm a broke bitch is why. Like, he's not going to do that. I mean,
Mhm.
other people on the cast would have gotten a little bit, punchy about that, but he's like, I ask her, because he's not here for like drama and fights. Like,
Mhm.
he's a pretty normal dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a weird way to like, oh, why do you think you got dumped?
Yeah. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And she says like a big piece of that was their lifestyles and how different they were. And a part of her wishes that she would have given Jordan a little more grace for being able to get there eventually. And I'm like, I don't know. Does she mean like what I said, the influencer thing and the money's coming?
Right.
I don't know.
Mhm.
But she has dated potential in the past, and she was scared to do that for marriage, which is kind of weak because in the pods, we knew he was kind of potential to her.
Yep.
So I don't,
Yep.
nothing
No, it,
changed.
it it was weak sauce to me. To me, I think, and we saw a little bit of this when she was talking after they broke up. I think she kind of came to the realization of like, oh no, I am kind of shallow and materialistic with money after all. Like, this matters. I didn't want to be. I didn't
Yeah.
want this to be, an issue for me, but it really is. And I think, we see that sometimes with attraction, where it's like, yeah, I went into this saying attraction didn't matter to me. Oops, turns out it really matters a lot, and I didn't realize that about myself. I don't think she wanted to confront that truth about herself, but like, that's what it was.
Wait, you think she wasn't attracted to him,
No,
or?
no, no. I'm saying like the money thing. I'm saying
Oh,
other
okay.
people, like the way that Joe tried to convince about the attraction didn't matter to him.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think she was trying to convince herself that like
That
money
the
doesn't
money.
matter that
Okay.
much. And
Yeah.
like, no, it really does.
Yeah. We never mentioned this throughout the whole season. I don't know why, but that Jordan writes books for children with, I think,
Yeah,
I want to say Luca's mom.
it is with Luca's mom. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, good for him for not plugging it because everyone would be like, well, that's why you came on the show. But
Well, he didn't plug it on the show, but and I try to stay as unspoiled as I can. So I don't
Mhm.
follow cast members on social media. I don't do any of that stuff. But I've heard a
Yeah.
lot of people be like, right before the show began, he and Luca's mom began doing like aggressive promotion for this book and pushing the book and talking
Yeah.
about the book all the time. And so I could see if that happened right before the show began, and on the show he makes his entire personality what a great dad he is to Luca,
Yeah.
that could look a little bit opportunistic. I don't know if that's the case. If it is, I don't really care. I
Yeah.
talk about my business on my podcast all the time. Like, I don't have that many opportunities to let people know what I do. And so I get it if that's what he did. I don't think that would be the only reason he came on the show or anything. But I
Yeah.
do think it was like, hey, we have an opportunity here. I might as well take it.
Yeah. I'm going to say this again because for me, what I have done now is I have adjusted my expectations where it's like a lot of these people come on here. When people say, oh, are they here for clout or whatever? I don't care if they're
Yeah.
here for clout because to me, it's a given. If you come on a reality show giving what the world is today, you come on here, there's a high likelihood you can transform that into a career or transform that
Mhm.
into something else. So a little part of you must have thought about that.
Yeah.
So, that's fine. It's just when that is the only motive and you're not even trying to hide it. I don't know what to do with that, especially for a dating show. That's where kind of like the problem is. So I don't know. It would be nice if everyone was here for let's go to Bachelor Nation, the right reasons, but
Right.
it's tainted sounds terrible. But there's a little dilution there where some people are coming here like, listen, if I can be an influencer, which it is not easy being an influencer. It looks great, but it looks like a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're somebody that is like, you don't have a personality you're pushing. You're just pushing because you were on a TV show.
Yeah.
Like with my brand, I work with a couple of like content creators, and I got in touch with them. Like, oh, you make really great content that's kind of adjacent to what I do. This would make sense. If I'm somebody who's like a regular person, and I'm like, oh, I was on TV, and now I'm going to try to be an influencer. That's not an easy transition to make if
It's
you're not used
not.
to like talking and being entertaining all the time or anything.
Yeah, it's not. Nick brings up the whole thing about when Jordan said he regrets introducing Luca to her, and she tears up and said that hurts, and she gets it, and she feels for Jordan on that one, but she's still grateful that she got to meet him. Jordan, like Brian said, is here for peace. He's all kumbaya, and not trying to vilify her for anything. It's like not that
Mhm.
he should. I'm just saying like he just gave me peace. And he says to clarify that for his age, stability is important and nothing to do with her person. That it's just him who signed up for this. And, bringing Luca into it, that was what he meant. But also, he was hurt at the time when he said it.
Yeah, yeah,
Vanessa says that, at the end, Megan, you said you weren't sure, like you were cut out to be a mother. And Jordan, what do you think? I'm like, okay. Jordan's like, I completely disagree that she'll make a fantastic mom. And then Megan is like, I don't feel that way. That at the time I was questioning things. And surprise, I'm a mom. The worst kept secret ever.
right.
But I think for me, it's the fact that at the time I was like, some of the cast was surprised because Ali was like, what? Edmund
Yeah,
was like, who? And then Nick was like, oh, wow. And
right.
then
Very demonstrative.
Megan is like, I had a baby boy 2.5 months ago. And then KB is like, oh, that's why you got thick. I'm like, oh. And then she says it again.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you got really thick. And I'm like, oh.
yeah,
Again, that is not a bad, for some people, that's not a bad thing. Some will see it as a compliment. I mean, Megan is like, oh, thank you. I don't think Megan
mhm,
is in that crowd, but also from what I hear, for a postpartum woman, it doesn't matter even if you're like, oh, she looks great. They're just hormones and things that are going on, with a woman who just gave birth 2.5 months ago.
yeah.
Just to be safe, just don't, just
No, don't
be
say anything
quiet.
about it.
Don't
Just
say
if
that.
there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. If
Yeah.
you say, "Oh, you got your body back quick," it's like, okay, like that's not what they want to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just don't say anything about it. The same way that like if you see somebody pregnant, don't ask when they're due. I don't care if you are clearly 9.5 months pregnant. I'm not going to be
Yeah.
like, "Huh, are you pregnant?" I'm just going to assume you're not because I
Yeah.
don't want to have to. Because if you're not, then I fucked up. So no, just don't touch it.
Don't talk about the body at all. And
No.
I mean, something like I had a friend who had just given birth, and she was talking about, oh, she doesn't feel, like herself. She doesn't feel like she looks good. And I'm just like, what do you mean? You look fantastic. You look, in
Mhm.
hindsight, I was way younger. We were way younger then. It's not, it's a mental thing. If they're telling you how they feel, it's not like you see it and you're like, oh my God, you look great. But that's not how she feels. And she's in the
Yeah.
throes of it and dealing with like a newborn, a life. It's a lot of things. And it's like, ugh. So,
Well,
anyways,
it's Leah from The Valley. On The Valley, like you watch The Valley or no?
yeah, I do.
Okay, like Mia on The Valley, like yes, everyone can look at you and go, "Oh my God, you're fucking gorgeous." She's not going to want to hear that, and it's not going to penetrate the way that you think it is because she doesn't feel good about herself.
Yeah.
So no matter how many times you tell her that, it's not really going to make her feel different about it.
Yeah. So, anyways, that happened. It's the, they put in a lot of things. They decided to keep that in. That was
Yeah,
actually not
wild.
surprising. Her kid's name is Brooks, and his dad is in the audience. His name is Paul, and I'm like, okay, Paul. He looks rich. I don't know what he does. He
Yep.
just looks rich.
No,
He just looks like he's
no,
an
I said that looks
exec,
like a rich man.
like an exec of something. And I'm like, all right, numerology lady, give us some numbers. Give us numbers to this timeline.
Right.
And then she's like, they wrapped filming in April. They were introduced in July. And then she got pregnant 3 months into dating. And they've had their ups and downs. And she's not going to say it was perfect, but they are very happy. All great, all good. But I got to tell you, for those of you who watch Summer House, this was giving major Lindsay Hubbard.
Sure was.
Lindsay Hubbard
Sure
vibes.
was. And we're all just gonna play along like we don't know this is messed up. Okay, I'll play dumb. Whatever, Lindsay.
I wouldn't say messed up. I don't think messed up. I just think like really fast. And
Yeah.
I'm hesitant to say that I don't think the baby was planned, but they rallied and they both wanted a kid. So it was like, okay, we're here now. We're just gonna, go with that. Much like you don't talk about women's bodies, babies' bellies. We're not gonna say, did you plan the child? The child is gonna see that
No.
one day. So no.
And
But
to clarify, I'm saying Lindsay's thing was messed up.
oh,
Like this dude never comes around. Y'all live together. Like this man doesn't seem to like you all that much.
thoughts on that? Okay. I don't know what it is. He just didn't want to be on TV, but it's just like if you're gonna date Lindsay,
Mhm.
I don't know
Yeah,
what you were thinking.
why are you dating Lindsay in the first place? That's a whole other story.
Nah. Well, I mean, I am happy for Megan. She got to have her baby because she did talk about that a lot. I think where or what I would have liked was like, it's too early because it's just 2 months in, but it's like, has your lifestyle changed? Like, there was a whole thing about, oh my God,
Mhm.
you're going to be stuck and all that, but, not asking lifestyle change. I don't know. Would it have been rude to ask what her boyfriend does? Is that rude?
Yeah, it's rude, but like I want to know because I mean, I looked. I'm like, oh, you're dating Lex Luthor. Like that's who this person is. Like I don't. He looks like to me. I was like, oh, he looks like a rich man who's like 50 years old. I'm like,
Yeah.
this did not seem like. I mean, this is exactly what you said you did not want to jump into, and now here you are. Um, I want to know, and I don't mind that it's rude. Like I be rude about it. How much money do you have?
Yeah, I wanted to know what it was. And also,
Mhm.
I mean, good on him for it seems like bare minimum, but it's basically I'm trying to say like it wasn't giving like he's a private person. I don't want to be in the circus. He came out there, he was in the audience and he seemed to be supporting her. So,
Mhm.
good for her. I did not miss the fact that there were no past cast members, no future cast members. I'm okay with that, It's their
Totally fine
season.
with it.
It's their
Yeah,
season.
doesn't bother me. I don't need to see it.
So they share her baby and maternity pictures and I'm like, "Wait, Nick, I thought you were like, oh, you didn't know that this happened." But the whole time I'm just like, Jordan is still right there. Like
Yeah.
that man
Yeah.
got his heart quote
And they
unquote
kept on
broken
showing him.
on there. So
Damn.
she says it's giving her a lot more empathy for Jordan and being a single dad and she applauds him. And I have a question for you, Brian. How do you define being a single dad?
Not what he's doing. Like to me,
Okay.
if you're a single parent, to me, and I'm not a single parent, so come at me if I'm wrong about this. But to me, single parent means like you have full custody,
Yes.
or at most, like your kid is there like every other weekend or something like that. Where like you are, for all intents and purposes, doing parenting on your own with little to no input from your partner. And that's not his situation.
That's how I define it too. And please, anybody out there, I would like to hear this because it varies in different things. Because I wouldn't call Jordan a single dad. So
No.
my definition also is like if you are the primary parent of
Mhm.
the kid and you have them majority of the time, but from our understanding, it's a 50-50 situation. So you're not a
Yeah.
single dad.
No,
So
no,
I yeah
I don't look at it that way at all.
yeah.
To me, it's, you need to be in a situation where it all falls on you if you're a single parent, because that's
Hmm.
when I think about being a single parent, it's like the stress of it all, and like
Hmm.
the demand on your time at all times, and all of that kind of comes with it. He's a dad who is single, but I don't think he's a single dad.
Hmm. The same here. They remember that Jordan is there, and suddenly Nick is like, "Oh, this came as a surprise to us on this stage." Even though he cued the baby pictures, and it was like, "Jordan, was it a surprise for you?" And he's like, "No, he knew." And they're like, "Oh, this is not a surprise. How did you know?" And he was like, "Some disgusting person reached out to him on Instagram trying to stir the pot, and he reached out to her, and she was transparent." He thanks her for being transparent and says that he appreciated that because if he had found out right now, like how everyone did, it would have been jarring. And I think
Yeah.
my question is if he never called Megan, would he have known? Megan doesn't owe him anything. I will say that.
Oh.
But it's like a working situation where it's your coworker, and I understand what he's saying. Like if he came here and is like, "Oh, she has a child. I thought we loved each other and had a moment," but it's also
Yeah.
an unusual circumstance. It's so the lines are blurry.
Yeah. I think that if he hadn't called her, she would have told him in like the days before the reunion. I think he would have found out, hey, like, just so you know, like, this is what's going on. I don't want you to be like surprised on stage when you hear it for the first time. I don't think it would have organically come up if there was no reunion. I don't think she would have told him about it or anything.
Mhm. Mhm.
But like, I appreciate that she did, because having him walk into that, unaware could have been really rough.
Yeah. Yeah. These reality shows, man.
Messy.
All right, I'm going to take a quick break and I will be right back.
After the holidays, there's so much to clean up and get ready for the coming year. This leaves me exhausted and a lot of things falling off my to-do list. It's time to lock in, and Omaha Steaks delivers everything you crave to reset after the holidays. An order from them means having high-quality Omaha steaks on hand at all times. I'm a big meat lover myself, and I always go with medium rare. But there's also plenty of poultry and other options available. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. A family-owned company with over 100 years of expertise in the meat industry. Let Omaha Steaks deliver high-quality proteins right to your door. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their end-of-season sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code YUM at checkout. That's OMAHA steaks.com, promo code YUM. Terms apply. See site for details. Go to www.omahasteaks.com to get 50% off site-wide during their end-of-season sale. And use promo code YUM at checkout for an extra $35 off. Minimum purchase may apply. Thanks to Omaha Steaks for sponsoring us.
Okay. So then Vanessa clarifies that none of them knew and like what made all of them say like, "Oh, it made sense. It made sense." And Allie, who she looks gorgeous. But I'm like,
It
she looks the
does.
same, but she looks different. I don't know. I
Mhm.
can't tell.
I think her
But she
makeup
looks
might have
great.
been done differently or something.
Yeah, she looked great. So Allie says that, yeah, Megan was one of the girls I was closest to on the show, and I haven't seen her in a while. And I was like, oh, it makes sense. Maybe she was hiding. Thank God that's what she said. I thought she was gonna say it again, like KB, like, oh, you guys. I was like, please, guys, don't do
Right.
that. Um, and the rest echoed the sentiments that it was the same thing, but I'm like, a whole 9, 10 months. Like, did you text? Did you
Long
call and
time.
she didn't respond? Like, what's going on?
Right.
Um, so yeah. Vanessa asked Jordan if anything surprised him now. Oh, sorry, just to go back. That she was asked if she had a baby shower, and Megan was like, yes, she had a baby shower, but no phones were allowed. So
Mhm.
good for her friends for keeping the secret.
Lock
So
it
then
down.
Vanessa asked Jordan if anything surprised him now that he has seen the season. I'm expecting him to say something else, but instead, what he says is that he and Mike had been hanging out after. Weird. And
Weird.
Mike hit him up one day and was like, "Oh, we need to go to lunch. I got to tell you something." And it's like, "Okay, just tell me now, whatever it is." And then he shares that he went on a couple of dates with Megan after the show ended. Jordan is like, "Oh, no problem. No hard feelings." And I'm like, is this me with my sensitive ass? Did Jordan ever really like Megan? Like, everything is rolling off so easily. Is that just maturity? Is that what maturity looks like? And I don't know.
I don't know, because I haven't broken up with anybody in, oh my god, what, 11, 12, no, god, 14 years, something like that now. So like I don't know how this goes anymore. But like for me, I think Jordan is similar to me, where when we break up, we're done. I always say I have a no recycling policy. If we broke up, there was a reason for that. We shouldn't try it again. So
Mm-hmm.
I could see him being in a position where it's like, okay, we broke up. Like I took whatever time I needed to fully process it and get over it. I don't care anymore. Like I'm beyond that. Whoever she wants to date is whoever she wants to date. It's a maturity that eludes a lot of people, because we see Madison's obviously very hung up still. But like, I could see him just being like, yeah, the way that she did it hurt me enough that I don't really care what she does anymore.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that it's Mike. If it was
Mike
someone
of it
else,
all is
like,
weird.
Mike is, there was not all good vibes. There were certain things he said, and it was someone that she dated, another close connection. It's just all too close for comfort. That, okay, I mean, good for him. You know what? If he's
Yeah.
fine, I'm fine. Megan says that, yeah, she was sure that she and Mike will have that spark, but it just wasn't there in person. And then we find out that Megan also went out with Blake to grab a margarita to formally apologize. And I'm like, well, you know what, Megan? You utilized your time, because within that time, she dated all the men she had connections with. She not dated, but she hung out with them or went on a few
Yeah.
dates, and she snagged her current man and had a baby in the time. That means this was
Busy.
filmed so long ago.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
they said a year and a half. I thought it was a year, but I was like, a year and a half?
Yeah, my wife is a detective, and she like looked up the information and when the pods were and everything. It's like, oh yeah, this was like the pods were, I think, in like March of
Mm,
2024 or something like that. So it's been a long time.
wow. Do you remember off the top of your head what the next city is?
I don't.
Is it Seattle?
Oh, wait a minute. It's I think are they doing Austin again? I want to
They're
say they're going back to where they.
they're casting right
Oh,
now.
okay,
They're
so I don't
putting
know
all
where
of
the
that.
city is
So I
now.
don't know if it's Seattle or not. Okay. Oh,
Go
no,
to
no,
go
no.
to
It can't
somewhere.
be Seattle because they just did Brett and Tiffany. My bad. So I
Now,
off the top
maybe
of my head, I don't know.
go somewhere in the Midwest that's not Chicago and Minnesota. Like, I could see if you wanted to do like Milwaukee's a fun town. Like
Hmm.
everyone's drunk. That's a fun place to be. Um, I don't know, because I don't like that they're like repeating areas again, because they already had Seattle, right? And it's,
Hmm.
I don't need to go there again. Like we did it already. Have they done like Miami? Because that could be fun.
We're not gonna
It's
get people
messy as hell.
who wanna commit.
Well, that's true. Do New Orleans. New Orleans is hilarious. You get a lot of accents. New Orleans would be a fun city to do.
You might be right. Just a quick look. Looks like it might be in the Ohio area, is
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
seeing right now.
Boy, I hope it's Cleveland, not Cincinnati. But I mean,
They
either
said it's
one of them.
Cincinnati,
Oh
Cleveland,
boy.
and Columbus or something. But
Okay. So
yeah,
those are very different, because like Cleveland is just like your standard, kind of downtrodden former industrial base. Columbus is where Ohio State is, so you get a lot of like smart, college
okay.
types there. Cincinnati is basically on the border of like Kentucky. Like
Oh,
Cincinnati is a lot more southern than people think it is.
okay. Erase everything I just said because I don't know. Now I'm seeing, like, if casting calls are to be believed, it's going to be Atlanta. They did casting calls in
Oh,
July 2024. So we don't know which it is. They did casting calls for all these places. So it was Atlanta, there was Miami, there was Columbus, Ohio, and then New England. So
Jesus. Okay. Well, yeah. Who fucking knows?
it all sounds like different flavors, but I
Yeah.
feel like I'm excited for Miami because I just feel like we're not going to get serious people. These are all people who
No.
want the good life. So I
We're
feel
gonna
like
get somebody fighting over like whether or not it's cool to go out until 4 in the morning when you're married still. Like it's gonna be a conflict.
oh man. All right. So no hard feelings where we're on Jordan, and then no sparks with Mike. And Megan also went with Blake. Okay, I just did a quick summary within the summary. So Vanessa brings up Mike's comments because honestly, that's what I thought Jordan was going to bring up because that's, what the reunion is for. I don't care if you did it off camera. We weren't there. So bring that up. So Vanessa was like, he talked about, diabetes and, how you just eat healthy, but it's wrong. But can you clarify that for people? And Jordan is like, there's two types, and just repeating, just in case, just to share the information. Type 1 is like an autoimmune disease. That's the one Luca has, and it's, genetic. There's nothing you can do about it. And type 2 is when your body is insulin resistant due to high sugar intake. And then he was like, casually to me, he's like, and that's another thing. Mike apologized to me. He held himself accountable and he's learning and he made a large donation. So my ask is like, everyone forgive Mike and I forgave Mike. Everyone should do the same. Jordan, I like you. You will not tell me who I'm going to forgive or not. I
No.
am not on your maturity level. Like, I don't, this rollover kumbaya thing that he's doing. Don't mind me, guys. I'm not saying you shouldn't forgive, but it was too easy. Come on. Mike
I'll
was
say
the
it.
villain.
Yeah, Mike was a villain, and like he got off super easy in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was the diabetes thing was not the most egregious thing he did, even when it comes down to this particular couple. Like I'd have been like, okay, so did you confront him with why he was trying to like talk about how different y'all are and all the seeds he
Mm-hmm.
was trying to plant? Like we don't get any of that because we're too busy talking about how y'all had a conversation months later off camera that we weren't there for.
Yeah, that's the other opportunity they could have had. Like, okay, I know you guys had a conversation, but for the audience out there who is not privy to this, how did you guys work through that? How did you feel when you first saw it before, you got the apology? Because it
Mhm.
wasn't nice. Like, you tried to plant seeds of doubt and you said, certain things, but why do that? Jordan hasn't been dating and he's been in nothing serious. Like, he's not ready to introduce Luca to anyone. He's still doing the chicken and Crystal Light mixture. And why did no one ask him, why don't you just eat the chicken
I don't know.
and
He's
take a
like, hey
glass?
guys, to clarify, it's cooked. Okay, then eat it, dummy. Like, why are you blending? If it's cooked, eat it. What are you doing?
I don't know. Just eat the chicken, especially if it's seasoned, yum yum, and then have a glass of Crystal Light. I don't get what the mixture is, and that is not going to be solved.
No.
Um, for some reason, Megan just comes right out to say that Casey was the only one who knew she was pregnant. I want to know why Casey was the one who knew she was pregnant.
Of all people to align yourself with. Like, this is the one, this is who you're picking.
I should not leave a reunion with more questions.
Oh my God, I did not like that.
Vanessa uses that opportunity to segue by introducing new people to the landing strip, and Nick is like, I see what you did there. I'm like, I do not want to see
No,
what you did
we all see it. It wasn't perfect. We all see it.
And so we introduce Kate and Patrick and Casey. And this is where I'm just like, is this how the rest of the reunion is going to go? Because we didn't really go over their journey of what happened in there during the show, just everything that happened afterwards. But I got to
Mhm.
make peace with that because that's what it is.
Yep.
All right. So Patrick, Kate, and Casey. I need a deep breath before I go into them. So I'll be right back to talk about them. Okay. So Casey says they ask her what happened. She said she was freaking out. But, for the reunion, like, how are you feeling? She's like, I'm freaking out. But honestly, a lot of the guys seem nervous. It's almost like everyone was like, okay, when is going to be my turn? When is it going to be my turn? And Vanessa says, like, the last time they saw her, she was in the lobby with producers, and Patrick never saw the clip until this season. And how did he feel? And he's like, oh, it was slightly hurtful. He never had clarity. He was like, I mean, but it's cool, but really, it's not cool. And I'm reminded, I know y'all love Patrick, but I am not a fan. And I'm just reminded, like, this is why stand on business. Like, she laid it out for you where you can be the good guy, use your words and just stand on it. But no. And he gets
I would have
worse.
gotten her ass. And I'm like, hold on a minute. Okay, so what was all this making out with me and jumping all over me and shit? Like, if you're not into me saying that, I'm grown. I can handle that. And he's like, oh no, it's cool. We're fine. It's not cool. But I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
If you're mad, be mad. If you're not
Yes.
mad, then don't be mad. But explain why you're not mad. But like, I did not appreciate his communication this time either.
Yeah, just say, you know what? I was mad. It's been a year and a half. It's cool. Just don't attack her online and then be done with it. But this flip-flopping of a flop, I don't want it. So
Yep.
Casey actually says, well, it wasn't cool because it broke my heart. All I wanted to do was protect you. And someone in the audience was like, oh, please. My
Yep.
closed caption said, please give me a break. I didn't hear that. Maybe it was
I wonder
said.
who it was. I thought it was Jordan at first. He was sitting right in front of him making faces, but I don't think he said it.
No, it was some lady in the audience, and
Yeah.
apparently, I guess it was cold. Some people were with blankets, and I'm like,
Yes.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyways, she's trying to explain, and she's like, I didn't know if my attraction could grow to the altar, and I'm like, that's why you go through the process, because we just did France. Wasn't it Julie? She wasn't sure, but she went through the process. By the end, she was in love. She still got dumped, but yeah, she was in love. The same thing with Sweden. We had someone in there. You go through the process, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But you got to give it a chance. So, fact of the matter is, you knew. You just didn't want to admit
Didn't
it.
give a shit.
So Jordan is making faces. Jordan is staring at the sky. Joe is staring at the ground because he knows what's coming for him. So Nick calls Jordan out and is like, okay, what are your faces about? And, Nick, I don't think that Jordan went for media training, but he has like the whole time, I have ADHD. I'm just trying to focus. Like, I don't know nothing. I don't see nothing. I'm just trying to be here the best way I can.
Come on, man. I also have like pretty severe ADHD. I don't mug all the time because of it. Like, I know how to sit still. I know how to like not show emotions in my face if it's not appropriate to do so. If I'm him, like, just no, this is fucking hilarious. All of this is making me laugh because Casey's a clown. This is all hilarious to me. Like, there's no up to that. Like, I'm reacting to this insane person behind me just talking nonsense.
Madison comes in and is like, yeah, that doesn't match, doesn't track, but you know what? Everyone has their own perspective. Then Kate comes in. I think Kate was there just to be in the mix. I don't know how she made it, but she did. And somehow she's
No
giving
idea.
commentary on everything and says that, Patrick, like she heard they went to a party. Patrick asked for the ring back and she doesn't know the details. She does. But you could tell that there was bad blood. And then Allie says what we've all been thinking all weeks, that it's so weird because Netflix provides the rings. So I don't think anyone has the right to claim the ring either way. The audio
Well,
does not pass the vibe check for me because I was expecting either laughter or applause, but it was silent. But go ahead. What were you
my
about to say?
thing is this: if nobody deserves the ring, then Netflix should get the ring back. If you're saying, well, Netflix provided the ring and this and that, okay, cool, but that doesn't make an argument for why she gets to have it when she dumped me the day after I gave it to her.
Yeah, but that's what Ali said.
Um,
She said she doesn't think anybody should have the right to claim the ring.
then cool, but like if that's the case, okay, fine. Say I don't think either one of you guys should have it. That's fine. But she's like, I don't know, why do you want it back? Blah blah blah. Why does she get to keep it? To me, if you get dumped, you get to keep the ring. If you dump the other person, give the ring back. You don't get to dump this dude and then keep the ring for yourself. It's not, I don't understand why
But the
she wants it
reason
other
why
than it's
people
right.
want the ring back is because they're attaching like, oh, I spent money on this. This is my money. If he didn't spend any money, why does he want the ring back?
Because he can get money for it now.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I'm just like, I don't understand why he's like, I don't even know why I would even want to deal with this because maybe I expect this from Casey. Maybe that's what it is. And I'm like, yeah, of course she wants to keep the
Yeah.
ring. Her boyfriend told her to join the show and she joined the show and she did all of
Right.
these antics. But for Patrick, it's like, it's been a year and a half and you're still begging for the ring. It's the ick. And this has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the fact that I'm not a fan of his. It's just like, there's just something icky about, not icky as in disgusting, but just like gives me the ick to
Yeah.
beg for a ring that you didn't even buy a year and a half later. Ugh.
Yeah.
Gosh.
To me, the hierarchy is Netflix should get the rings back. They can just use them next season anyway. Like Netflix should get the ring back. If not Netflix, then Patrick should get it because he's the one that got humiliated on TV. I just cannot make an argument for Casey getting to keep it. Like I can't get to any point where it's like, oh, she should get to keep this though. Like I don't understand what argument there is that if anybody is having it, she's last place for me.
Yeah, I don't think that she should get to keep it. It's just like when I put all the pieces together, she's also not worth the fight.
No,
It's just
God, she's not.
what it
No.
is. So Casey says, like, Patrick said that I could keep it when we're at the hotel. And Patrick is like, yeah, because I thought we were going back to Denver to try. But then when we got back, she wouldn't pick up. And then he's like, trying to be nice. And like, okay, what I feel like she didn't put enough effort in. I'm like, again, this is why you get on my nerves. You got done dirty. You can still go in and you're still carefully choosing your words. Not saying you shouldn't be respectful, but you're allowed to be angry. Like, ugh.
I would be
Anyways,
so nasty.
Casey says when they got back to Denver, she texted immediately. He wanted an immediate conversation and she wanted it days later. She's also saying it like what he's asking for is ridiculous, which is not. You just dumped the guy
No.
and told him, I'll see you. Like, I don't want to be on camera. So, of course, naturally, he's expecting to have a conversation with his fiance.
Right.
And she's like, okay, he's like, it looks like I'm not going to get the response that I want. And when days later happen, he's just like, you know what? Let's be friends respectfully. And I want the ring back respectfully. What is with the respectfully? He says she was telling him a lot of different things. And if she couldn't even articulate then that, let's be friends, then what was the point? Then I think Vanessa at this point was just like, so when you were like respectfully the ring back, what did happen? And I was like, that was funny to me. So the group was having a party and he wanted to clarify, with her, like, what would they tell people? And he made her a joke and was like, hi, ex-wifey. And she was like, too soon. And I'm like, huh? At this point, she's like, oh, I don't care what we're telling people, what they were. And I'm like, you know what? Same. This conversation is dulling my brain.
Yep. I don't need it. I don't need it there. I didn't need Casey up on stage in general. Like I guess I wanted to hear her explain why she broke up with him the way that she did. We never talked about that at all. No point was anybody like, hey, why were you telling the cameras you don't find him attractive and then you're making out with him 2 seconds later and like climbing him like a tree? That never came up at all because you spent so much time talking about, well, this pool party and you were hitting on this guy and my friend said, like, I wasn't there for any of that. Leave that to the interviews you guys are doing after the fact. I want to know why the breakup went the way that it went, and we never talked about it.
Didn't even talk about the pod sex. Didn't even talk about Patrick. Like, this was a very important moment where you talked about, maybe being Asian in a predominantly white environment, how it affected. I don't know if Anna was like, y'all better not say my name. Leave my name out your mouths. Do not speak about me. We did not talk about Anna. Did not talk about. It was just, I don't know. It was just empty.
No,
but
it's weird.
Patrick decides, I'm not a fan of Casey either, but Patrick decides that he's going to tell Casey what to say and is like, this is your moment. You are going to say, I'm sorry for what I've done or whatever damage I've caused. And then we could wipe it clean and walk away in peace. I don't need the ring back. I loved you in the pods. And then she's like, even though I was a distant second. And I was like, okay, she ate. But he's just like, I care about people tearing her up on the internet and, it's for her, not for him. And Nick says that, he thinks it's a genuine gesture. And I'm like, oh, okay, if it is true. And she was like, I really do care. But the thing is, like, you sent a TikTok saying I was the side chick. And he's like, it was a joke. She's like, it's not funny. And Casey's really leaning heavy. He really fed her what to lean on in the whole side chick thing with this.
Mhm.
So now instead of like, Casey, what you did was wrong. She's like, okay, but you said I'm a side chick and you chose Anna. And then, him saying that Anna was first choice. And she says like, I care about you. And the audience again is like, right. And she's like, I don't know why everyone else gets to decide how I feel about you. And I have a feeling that I think they edited a lot of the audience reaction, maybe.
I think so. And this whole thing with Patrick, like if it's me, I know who I am. Like
Mhm.
I am Petty Roosevelt. I'm Petty LaBelle, Petty Mayonnaise. Like I'm going to come at you. And if this is how we're doing things, if this is how you're really going to act, like, oh, okay, so yeah, I did make fun of you and call you a side chick. You know who leads with overt sexuality when they're in a little bit of trouble with somebody? A side chick. That's what you did. Like,
Brian.
I would have come at her for this. Like, you're not going to turn this around and blame me. Like, I'm the bad. No.
No,
I'm
Brian,
petty.
we would not do that because at the end of
Well,
the day, it's still a man arguing with a woman. So he still needs to
I
be,
know it, but listen,
yeah, he still needs
I
to, because, and then besides it not being the right thing to do, but it leans towards like right now he has the upper hand because he's the one that was done dirty and she's the villain. So then
I'm not
you
saying it would have
drag
been the
down.
right thing to do. I'm saying it would have been the Brian thing to do. Like, I am too emotional to handle this and not like get nasty with somebody. Like, I'm gonna come at you with what I think is gonna hurt your feelings, especially if you're trying to turn this and make it look like I'm the villain in this relationship. Like,
Boys and girls, do not listen to Brian. You end up being like a
no,
Gino on 90 Day.
listen. Oh, well,
Don't do that.
I'm not gonna try to get you deported. I'm not,
No, not that,
no.
but just find where it hurts you, and then you end up looking like the bad guy, and then it's all a hot mess.
But Gino is the bad guy. I don't think Patrick is the bad guy in their relationship. Gino was clearly the villain. In this case, he's like, look, I think he didn't know how to say what he was trying to say, but he's basically like, they're gonna eat you up again if you don't at least say you're sorry. So
Yeah.
like, here's what a human being would say in this situation.
Okay, but here's my annoyance. Why are you still trying to save her a year and a half later when she's made it
Yeah.
very clear that she doesn't give a shit about you? Like, that's what I
wouldn't have
don't
been.
like. Stand up for yourself at this point. Like, she doesn't care. She's saying what she's saying. She's standing on it. It's not your job. Like, I get it that you care. You say it once and then that's it. But don't turn around and say, here's what you should say. Then I'll forgive you. And then you be okay. And then the people, no, it's not your
That was
job
too
to do
much.
that. And it's not even recent. So she says, yeah, Patrick tries to feed her how to say sorry. He's like, just say, I'm sorry, this is again. And she's like, I don't want you to feed this to me. Like, it's not even gonna sound genuine. And she's right. She's like, I have the ring. If you want it, aka if there's a chance I can still keep this ring,
Right?
I will take it. And he actually says, instead of saying, you've been bitching and moaning about wanting this ring for how long? And when she says, like, I have the ring and I can give it to you, you say, do you think I should have it back in principle? Why are you asking her? This
Give me
man
that.
drives me nuts.
Give me it
And
now, is what I would have said.
and you can tell that, Patrick cares a lot about what people think because he's still trying to fit in, and he's still, when he says it, he second guesses himself, and he's like, and it's not about the money. It's not about the money. Like, I'll take it. And Nick goes to get it, and then he's like, okay, thank you for bringing it. And Nick is like, honestly, should we just give it to Patrick, or should he be a producer to represent Netflix to get this
Right?
ring? And I don't even know if she apologized. I can't remember. But Patrick is like,
Not
and
really.
I accept your apology. And you still have a piece of me within me. And I'm just like, oh, make it stop. I don't want it.
Weird.
I
I
don't want
didn't need
it.
any of this. I needed 2 minutes all about the breakup, and that was it. I didn't need any of this. If you want to also about pod sex, that'd be funny too. That's all I needed in this. I didn't need all this extra nonsense.
I don't know if you remembered. I know this happened, but I forgot. But we used our time to show a montage of Casey making the basketball shots in the pod. And then Chris Paul is in the crowd.
What the
And
fuck are we
then
doing?
we have a competition. And Chris jokes that, if she makes it, she gets the ring back. But also, what is happening?
We watched two
What
people
is happening?
who didn't make it to Baja play horse for 10 fucking minutes of this reunion. I didn't need this. I didn't need Chris Paul to show up. I didn't need them to wheel out a basketball hoop. I don't know why we did it. There is a show to talk about with people on the stage. This was such a waste of time for me. I hated this shit.
I don't know who convinced Chris Paul to come.
I think he asked. I think he's like, hey, I want to be on the show. What can I love the show? Is there anything I can do at the I think this was his idea.
Anyways, for those who care, Casey won. And when they hug, Patrick is like, I'll give it to you back in Denver. And they sit down and they talk about it again with the ring. And then he says, I'll give it to her in Denver. And then he was like, I'm joking. I don't think he was joking. I think he wanted to have a chance to meet up with her again in Denver. and just clarify once again, like, I don't mean to be mean to you. Like, he just wants to make sure he's good with her and in some way seeking her approval that I'm just not a fan of. Like, move on.
And see, I read it the other way. To me, I read it as, I know you're not going to talk to me in Denver. You're not going to call me. You're not going to text me. You're never seeing this ring again. I'm never going to see you again. So yes, I will see you in Denver on February 32nd, and I'll give it to you then. Like,
Casey
it's never going to happen.
Casey really wants this ring, though. Like,
He
for
does.
that, I think she will call back. But he gives her the ring and she takes it back. Because again, in her case, I would be like, no, I don't want it. You really, really wanted this ring. I'm not going to take it back. So, anyways, Chris is like, oh, I'm a big fan of all y'all. And then he leaves. And I'm like, I mean, I hope it was worth it. He lived his dreams out of it. So, all right. Quick break because we still have 3 more couples to go through. All right, Vanessa segues into another leading question and asks Casey, she got a lot of time, way too much time for someone who didn't make it to Baja, if she was attracted to anyone else in the pods. And did she start dating someone? And then, Casey's like, and I'm like, it's just weird because we've been spoiled. We already know. And she's like, yes. And she says, this is Joe. And then Madison rolls her eyes. And they say like it was for a month and a half. And it's like, oh, what happened? It was like, oh, it just fizzled out. Madison knew that they dated, and she feels like whatever their connection was affected her engagement, because on the night of the wedding dress and tux fitting, they went out. They went out a lot. There was a lot. We went to this party. We went this. And she saw Casey with 2 paws, not 2 hands, 2 paws, which she said multiple times on his chest. And then she said that, she was giving googly eyes. Joe and his cowboy boots are like, I do not remember that. And if that's why she thinks they broke up, that is not the case. This has been the case with Madison. Madison, she's cute, but there's a little bit of a comprehension that she decides this is the story I'm going with, and that's it. And I'm like, if you think that was what it was, I hate to side with Joe, but that is not the case, honey.
But I get where she's coming from, though, because like in her mind, again, she is on a different plane of existence than the rest of us. But in her mind, everything was perfect up until they had this situation where they all went out, and then the very next day she got dumped, and then he starts dating her right away after that.
Yeah.
I think in her mind, it's kind of like, yeah, he would have been with me and would have said yes, you're married right now. But then we went out that one time and he saw her and it made him freak out and blah, blah, blah. And she was all over him. And I'm like, well, that's not, I don't think that's what happened. But also, like, I'd be mad too if I'm her. And I'm like, what are you doing all over my man like this?
Okay, Brian, but go back. When you say, like, in her mind, they were fine, therein lies the problem. They were not fine. Nothing about them was fine. They argued about everything. Did you say the sky was blue? Why did you say it was sky blue? Why did you say it was navy blue? Everything was an argument. Everything was like her struggling, to be there. So it was not fine. I mean, it didn't help that her mom has good sense of people and has 0 red flags about him. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Nick throws Joe a lifeline and he was like, hey, like, I was there at the tux fitting. You seemed to be having a hard time. I'm like, Nicky Poo, it wasn't a scene situation. The man left his friends.
He had a panic attack.
And it was like, and that was way before the party. And then Madison makes a good point, and she's like, okay, fine, that happened there, but why wasn't I privy to what happened at the tux fitting? Like, we didn't know. That she had no idea, but instead they went to a party and she's going about with his friends like, I love him, I can't wait to get married, and they're probably like,
shit, I gotta tell her.
And she couldn't wait to marry him. And she's like, why did you let me do it? And I don't know why Casey chimed in. Nobody asked you for it. And she's like, I just want to add, like, we didn't start dating until the end of May. And Madison said, like, I found out at Mike's pool party when Casey had the audacity to tell her that they were Eskimo sisters. Jordan is having the time of his life. Jordan is like, what?
I said, you said what? Like, you can't. You
And then
cannot bring up Eskimo family unless like the breakup has happened and we are no longer talking to this person. You can't do it like this is insane. It's insane behavior.
but that's the other thing is like, when did this pool party happen? We don't have a
We have
timeline.
no idea.
We don't know what is like you saying it was May. It was I don't know what that means. I don't even know when they filmed the reunion. So it's a whole guessing game out here. Um, and then Casey said bitching to Madison about how Joe was treating her. And Casey's like, that's a lie. That they had a good conversation. She can't believe she's saying all this now. And I'm like, I want this segment to end because the other thing is, how do I say this? Casey takes a while to get her words out. It takes forever. And then when he comes
Yeah.
out, he doesn't really give clarity. And I'm just, Casey's here too long. Like, take the landing strip people out. Like, again, why are they here?
Didn't
So,
need any of it. Didn't need it. 2 minutes is all I needed from her.
And then we have Kate, who heard things again about things, and she knows Joe's new girlfriend, Avery, and Joe's new girlfriend was there, and Casey was upset about it. And Casey's like, that's not true. And then Joe is like, listen, my relationship was rocky. I met this girl. She didn't want to date me. It took 3 months. Then she dated me. Then we were on and off. Then we were off. And I'm like, oh, this is
Just
a
a
very
mess.
badly
Basically,
produced
like, yeah,
reunion.
I was having sex with both of them at the same time, essentially, is what he was trying to say.
I mean, but he was saying like there was no overlap, but I don't know. I don't know if Joe is a reliable narrator, but Casey keeps saying there was no drama. And then Madison was like, wait, what? You were crying in a
Right.
corner. And then Kate backs her up and she's like, no, but it wasn't. And then Vanessa's like, you weren't crying because of that? And I'm like, move on. We weren't there. We don't know. This is not anything on the show. So they asked Patrick if he knew, because I think Casey brought him in and is like, oh, like, Patrick knew or something like that. And he was like, I didn't know nothing. Like, I just showed up. We got hammered. I have no idea what you're talking about right now. So why does Casey lie like this?
I don't know.
So confidently.
Right. It's confidently in front of the person you're lying about as though they're not going to get asked about it. Like,
mean-
we see on 90 Day Fiance right now, Libby is lying all over the place and keeps on getting caught in her lies because she's like, I didn't think you were going to tell anybody about the lie I told you. In this case, you're lying about the person who is 20 feet away from you into a
Yeah.
microphone. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Joe is the drama because then Madison shares that they got drinks together and she was still trying to get clarity. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but closure is a myth. You can only give
Mhm.
yourself closure. Trying to get it from someone, if you didn't know then, you're not going to know now. Again, I don't know how long after they went for these drinks. And then he walked her to the car and then they started making out and then he had tears in his eyes and she's like, so what was that about? I'm like, Madison, come on now. How many ways does he need to tell you? Like, he's just not that into you. Like,
Then he shouldn't make out with her. Don't make out with her then.
no,
Like,
no,
don't do
he
that.
shouldn't. No, he shouldn't either because even from the jump, he shouldn't. And she says, like, she didn't understand. Like, he needs to clarify. I think it's her just asking him to clarify. Nothing's going to change. The language is not going to change, whether on camera, off camera, anything. Like, him trying to make sense of it. The physical was never their problem. We saw that. And even though I said from jump, like, he should never have had sex with her because you know that you're not attracted to her. She says it was uncomfortable to watch him speak about her body. He said, like, what he said was that they asked him or they were talking about what kind of women do they go for. And he was like, I go for more petite women. But the thing is that they had sexual chemistry and all they did, everyone knows, was fight and fuck. And he did not mean that in a put down way. And to his knowledge, they never spoke about her body afterwards. So he's apologizing, but there's a lot of but in
And
there.
also, the apology is not, oh, I've dated petite women before, because I don't think Madison would say she's petite. You said she had a large physique. Like, that was an issue that you said she has a large physique.
Oh, man.
That's a whole lot different than I've dated petite women in the past.
I forgot to mention this, but Paul was in the audience and this is way too messy and way should not even go there. But the fact that Megan did mention on the show that Jordan was the best sex she's ever had, and this man has to
Yeah.
sit there and
Oh.
watch that play.
Oh, boy. He looks like a lot of things. He does not look like he's a giving lover. So,
Wow.
yeah, at least he has money.
We don't know that. He just looks like
I,
money.
I assume he has money. I did see a story time of Ricky said he has money. She's like, I don't know where his money comes from, but he has money. And I'm like, I believe you if you say it.
Okay. Okay, so that was it for Joe and Madison. I don't know that we got anything out of it, but it's just a lot of he said, she said, and then Kate being like, I heard, and Joe has a girlfriend that everybody seems to know and love. I don't know. It's
Well, and again, speaking of things that we didn't talk about that big fight they had in Baja. I wanted to hear some information about that. Like,
yep.
what happened? How long did it last? Who went to what room? Whatever. Like, were you guys fighting for 2 hours? We didn't even bring it up. Like, it never even happened.
Oh, because why? Why should we talk about the main
I'm too busy
plots
playing horse.
of the season? Nick and Annie. It starts with an apology to Kate. Nick has gone to meteor training. Nick is just tell me what to say. Edit one. And he failed to take this is him talking. He failed to take accountability for the breakup. Instead, he used Faith as an excuse. And she's just like, this is to Kate. And Kate is like, it's hard to accept because I mean, you never reached out off camera and we chatted in the summer. And he said, I thought we were good and I didn't think I needed to apologize again. Nick has a funny way of apologizing. Despite the quote unquote media training, he still wants to be right. And you can tell like he's not exactly apologetic. I just want this to go away. And he's been told the best way to deal with this is just take it on the chin and you move on from that.
The
Kate said,
problem is the script the PR firm wrote for him does not sound like his voice at all.
Yeah.
Like it does. This doesn't. We've heard you talk before. This is not how you speak normally. So I'm just like, clearly you have memorized this script and you have rehearsed what you're going to say, and that's fine. But like, you got to rewrite it in your own voice at least.
Yep. Kate said it felt like he wanted an audience and not a marriage. Vanessa asked about his love bombing, and Kate, I think Annie was the one who kind of like stood up for him and was like, "Listen, this is an accelerated experience, and it. I can't blame him. You just have all this heightened feelings, but I do think it was a missed opportunity to have a montage of him saying the same things to different ladies. Like, I mean, just cue it up and just put it right there." He says he's not denying the love bombing, that, oh, he'll take it. He accept that's what it is. And Kate is like, it just sounds like you got your words from Chat GPT. Like, maybe he seems sincere, but maybe it is performative. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta agree with her on this.
Agreed.
Vanessa asks Annie about the breakup, and she says, watching back, she can see herself forcing the relationship. Vanessa asks, who were you texting? I'm like, okay, we can roll with this question. She said she was texting her best friend. Her friend was supposed to come for the wedding fitting, and she was basically saying, I don't think this is happening. Don't book your flight. There's no need for all that. She says they're friendly. It's been a year and a half. This is when we get how long it's been. I mean, by calculations of Megan having a baby, maybe, but my brain is too full. But yeah, it's been a year and a half. And then Vanessa brings up something about, a lot of people think maybe you should have chosen Brandon. And good for Annie. She's like, I don't think I should have chosen Brandon. I love people when they stand in business. Like, just because all y'all are saying that, y'all don't know the backgrounds, you don't know anything. Like, I don't think I should have chosen him. So Nick brings up the comments about him. And Nick is like, he texted Joe and was like, oh, we're good. And I'm like, huh? What is happening right now? But the comments in specific was when Joe was like, that guy's not my kind of guy. I don't want it. I don't fuck with him. Like, he's not my kind of guy. And why do you have the hubris to text me like, oh, don't worry about it. We're good. Who says he wanted to be good?
No, I don't like you. I don't care if we're good or not. We're not friends.
Yeah, I was disappointed though. Joe was like, I'm so sorry for what I said. And, and then Nick was all like, oh, I get it that, no, not Nick. This is my thoughts. Like, I get that, Joe is being understanding. Oh, Nick was being understanding, like, oh, he liked Brendan and he was standing up for him. That's great. But what about Allie's comment? Allie said everything he does is strategic. What about the rest of the cast who feel like he's not being genuine? And I actually completely forgot until Nick brought it up, the whole thing about where he claimed that he didn't know that Annie was dating Brendan. And then he came in and was like, oh, she's saying it. I don't know. I feel like he kind of knew.
He knew. He knew. You knew. This is all stupid because you knew.
So Kate says that she's single, but she did go on a date with Brendan. And it was so messy because they were all dating each other clearly and the boundaries were blurred. I don't know what that meant. And she went and met up with some girls at Casey's apartment. And that night, Brendan was all over Casey. I'm like, here we go again.
Yep.
Casey is the, oh, what is her name from last season who ended up on Perfect Match?
Oh God, who was that girl's name?
Yeah. Her.
You know who we're talking about.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. But that, so I will be very sure that I'm now very high. Like, oh my gosh, are we gonna see her in Perfect Match?
Yes,
High,
I,
but
I
yes.
think they're gonna try to. I'm just like, I don't think she's compelling enough. She's not interesting to me at all. So I
Yeah.
think they're gonna try to shoehorn her in, but I don't need it.
I don't know why I'm thinking her name is Madison too.
Was it?
It sounds wrong, but it feels like her name was. Yeah. Anyways, if it comes to me, I will mention it. But Casey says that is absolutely not true. And Patrick was there, and Patrick's like, no, I wasn't. And then I was like, again,
Say my name.
why do you keep mentioning his name? It is not fair to this man. I think maybe low key she feels like he likes me so much that he's gonna defend me. And then Patrick is like, no. For once, he's sticking up for
I don't like you
himself
that much.
and is like, nope, I'm not going to do that for you. And then we just kind of move on from that. And I was kind of disappointed because I'm like, this is a blatant lie. So her name is Madison. It is Madison.
There you go. All right,
Yeah.
shit. Nice
So yeah, so I'm like, okay, we're just gonna move on from that. Fine. So we move on to Ali and Anton, and I'm like, okay, we have actual questions we can actually ask. We're gonna do this. Let's go. They
Not
start
gonna.
with the stripper conversation in the bathroom. Anton said that was nasty work. Like, I've only
It
met this
was.
girl twice, and he would have been happy to have that conversation at the table, but it didn't happen. Instead, she wanted her 15 minutes of fame. She waited till the bathroom, and then she mentioned it. And then Vanessa asked, like, if they had a conversation about that at all. And Ali says, I'm trying to think back. Like, I don't think we did. And honestly, Brian, this was the wildest thing of the reunion to me.
Truly.
Because when we recapped, I was like, why are they not having this conversation? And I was like, you know what? I'm so sure they did. They just didn't show it on here. Like, it has to be. And they did not. And Ali's like, hindsight is 2020 because, how did they, she just wondered, how did they not have that conversation? And it made her sick to her stomach when she heard about it. And I'm like, how did it make it sick to your stomach and you didn't bring it up at all?
No. I think, I don't think I understood the degree to which her mind had been made up really early on that she was going to say no.
Yeah.
She put up a good front like she wasn't, but
Yeah.
to not have this conversation to me means like, it doesn't matter what he says, I'm going to say no regardless anyway. So like, why have a conversation about it?
Mm-hmm. She does mention that they discuss religion because I think we talked about that when we were like, oh, wait, this is important to them. When did they have that? And what she does say, and I quote, we discuss religion on our return to it. So I hope Anton was being genuine and not just saying what she wanted to hear. Like, I hope, like, maybe she was like, you know what, I want to go back to my roots. I want to go back to religion. And he's like, yeah. I'm down with that. But maybe he was
I think that might have gone hand in hand with what his mom was saying. Because his mom was like, yeah, up until like 2 years ago, he was fucking up. Like, he wasn't taking anything seriously. He was kind of, just living life like whatever. And then he got really serious a couple of years ago. So I'm wondering if part of that was him also like returning to the church and getting back into his faith. I don't know, but that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's fair. So she says that Nick is still on like, why didn't you guys have that conversation? And I'm like, good for you, Nick. Because he's like, if this was something like you claimed that was so important to you, why didn't you have the conversation? Anton says like, this was disheartening that someone who he didn't know had that big of an impact on their relationship. But she says that a lot was going on. And, working the night shift kind of got in the way of having conversations. And that was the other thing that she even said at the altar, that she had a hard time having real conversations with him outside the pods. Anton says like they had a lot of serious conversations. So that's surprising to him off camera. And she was like, well, I think it was flipped. She thinks that Anton she wanted someone that had a big personality, and that when the cameras were on, he would suddenly flip and be a big personality. I'm like, wait, was Anton a big personality? No. Like when they had the infamous pool party, all the girls were saying, "Look at Anton. He's being like a gentleman. He's just in the background. Like he was just like what? Wow."
Well, there was that part of it, and also you want a man who is the life of the party and big personality, but he can never go to the club with his friends. So I'm
Yeah.
like, well, if you're gonna have somebody that's super extroverted and that's what you want, he's probably gonna want to be outside a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know that it all just felt like I'm making up excuses and trying to grab whatever I can.
Yeah, it was just there's a disconnect. And ever from the beginning there's been a disconnect. The day of the wedding she was defending to her mom, but then at the altar she's like, "I don't think I know who you are." But then it was just seemed like, and then she mentioned other things like healthy eating, and I'm like, "Wait, what? We've never
Yeah.
seen it. We thought it was the drinking." So he says that working the night shift, when he comes back, he's tired. The closest we get mentioned to the drinking was back then, have a few beers, have breakfast. And not every conversation is going to be deep. Like, I can't have a deep conversation every day. But another reason why I think that this is BS is like saying like there was no time to talk to him. She was telling everyone at the Weston party. If anything at all, have it in the Uber over there. I don't know.
Yep.
Have it in the when he made breakfast for you. If you're working, I don't there has to be opportunity. You're filming all the time. There has to be an opportunity to bring something that is so important to you that it quote made you sick to your stomach. You don't forget to have that conversation. So to your point, it was already decided. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna waste my time because I'm gonna say no. You know? So Vanessa brings up her friends at the bachelorette party. Like, what did that play a part in her decision? And I know you had that question too. Like, she said no. She said she saw where they were coming from, and her friend was from Ukraine, and said, like, they have the same background culturally where the men take care of everything. And they both agreed to that was what was gonna happen. And I don't know, there was just no, I feel like there was some kind of rudeness, but they didn't address that. But maybe it wasn't
Didn't
rude
talk
to
about it.
other people.
I
So,
mean,
and
if it's me, if I'm Anton, I'm like, hey, your friends are fucking up. Like you talking down on me like I'm just like a piece of garbage street urchin. Like that's not cool. And you didn't stand up for me at all. Like again, I'm petty though. He's a more mature man than I am apparently because I would have been letting off.
Anton did say that he was concerning seeing them say it, and of course he didn't feel good. So Nick says, "What was the moment for you when you knew that he wasn't for you?" And she was like, "Oh, lightheartedly, it's when he wore flip flops in Baja." I, she never answered the question, and I was trying to even remember it. Which, spoiler alert, fast forward when everything is done, they show when he came out of it wasn't even flip flops, they're slides. Like
No
there's a
slides.
whole different thing on that. And I think to pour salt into the wound, she was like, "Oh, I hope he's changed his walk." And I was like, "Girl,
I'm like, his walk seemed fine to me.
he didn't do anything to you that bad." So then we find out that Anton has been in a relationship for a year. She was in the audience. He's like, "It's what I needed, and it's going great." And they ask Allie if she's dating anyone. And Allie says, "I appreciate any interest in my dating life, but I want to keep it personal." Brian, I swear to you, this is so rude, and maybe she doesn't deserve it. I said fuck off out loud
Yeah,
by
I
myself
had the
as
same
I
thought.
was watching because I'm like, what? Okay, this is not it sounds like an out of office signature. Like, "I appreciate your email coming in, but right now I'd rather not talk to any." Who are you,
I
Ali?
respectfully decline. It's wild because we got baby daddies in the audience. We got new girlfriends in the audience. We're saying Joe's girlfriend's name all over the place. And you're like, nah, for privacy's sake, all you had to say is like, yes, I am. You have to say his name or anything or when you all
No.
met to say, or you say you could just lie and say no and tell
Yes.
him, hey, listen, if they ask, I'm gonna say no to keep things private between us, but like obviously we're together. This was bizarre to me. It was weird.
Yes, we didn't need to do all of that. It was giving Huda on, "Oh, I don't want to
Oh
violate
my god.
the Netflix thing." Ugh,
Right?
anyways,
No. Whack.
that's done and done. Another person I think we might see in Perfect Match if she's single, because we don't know. We don't know if
Match, or she would fit in great on Too Hot to Handle. She would fit in perfectly on
they
Too Hot
don't.
to Handle.
Yeah, that's
I think
true.
she's too
She
smart
would.
for it, but she got the body for it though.
Yeah, but they won't they don't do crossovers from Love Is Blind to
Oh,
Too Hot. The Too Hot, they get the people that are really green and the really
yeah.
like, and she's,
Temptation Island types.
yeah, and she's all like, yeah, she would pass, but yeah.
Yeah, no, she would fit in, but you're right. You're right.
Yeah. All right. Final couple, they saved KB and Edmund for last. And you could visibly see that KB was nervous. Um, they start with, honestly, they didn't warm us up for any of the couples. Everyone was just like straight into it. And they're just like, oh, you say that Edmund was different on camera and off camera. And then KB's like, yes, 1 second. And then whips out a note from her boobs. I'm like, what?
Weird. Weird.
What? What is on there? How do you know what they're gonna say? What did he have written down? She ended up not needing it, but I really wonder what it is that she wrote on there. She said that Edmund was her best friend in the pods and reminded us that she couldn't see his body language. So everyone's saying like he was just like so hyper and all that, that him being emotional didn't bother her, but that's all she knew. But outside the pods, it was just frustrating when she would be like, I'm upset with you. And then he starts crying and saying, I love you so much and I need you. And that's when she started thinking that it was manipulative. She confirmed it when they were back in Denver, and he was like, you know what? I'm done crying. And instead, he became a butthole. She's being so careful. Like, I'm not even going to say asshole because no one's going to say, like, I call this man out his name. She says butthole. That is a different visual when you say
Yep.
butthole. And she's like, okay, maybe I do want the tears back. She felt like he was dismissive off camera, and she came to him more off camera because she was being vulnerable. And one time she was crying to him. He actually walked away and was like, I don't get it. And she said this in the show. This is not new news to us, but just for people in the seats in the back, and maybe for Edmund, she has to say it again to, make her point. He said he wasn't being manipulative, that he just wanted to be himself. He wanted to be free and not be afraid to express himself. But he understands what he did wrong, but he learned from it. And he kept saying, I did not repeat any offense. And I'm like, I don't know about that, Edmund. And KB's like, yeah, I don't think I can agree with that.
Yeah, no, because we saw you do the same shit multiple times on camera. So you
Yeah.
did repeat these offenses.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of opinions online. I said it online and I'll say it again. I don't know how people see her as the villain. I don't know what the villain act was. She went through the process as you should. Maybe she knew earlier, maybe she didn't, but she stuck through it, and she explains this later, and I'll get into that. But she was there with him, and at the end, she decided he wasn't for her. I don't.
I would have bailed a whole lot earlier if I was her. Like the fact that she made it to the altar with him, you are not the villain at that point. You stuck it out through thick and thin with this man.
Yeah. She says the thing is that they always got into it right before they were on camera. So every time they were on camera, she was angry and she didn't want to feed into the stereotype. And she was looking like an angry Black woman. And she even came to him saying, please don't make me look this way. Like, I don't want to be angry all the time. Edmund says, oh, I loved KB and I chose her every day. And off camera, she'll be like PMSing and I'll try to talk to her, but she needed her space. And I was like, yeah.
My God, man, stop.
That's it. Like, no need. He's still missing the point because the same thing that she's saying is what you're doing. She's saying that I would say this and you'd be like, oh, I love you, I need you, but you're not addressing the thing that made me mad. Vanessa gives some weird sermon about how, at the end of the day, this was better for you guys and you grow and yada. And then Nick asks KB, is it a possibility? Like, oh, I'm an emotional guy too. I'm like, we watched you. Oh, maybe you've grown. Maybe he's grown, but we just got him. He wasn't. That he was an emotional guy, and maybe it's something she wasn't used to. And does she really feel that she was being manipulated? This question kind of rubbed me the wrong way because how many times does she have to tell you? She has said it on the show. She has said it now. And one thing KB is she is very clear with her words. Like, she laid it out, gave examples, and said what the problem was. But to ask again and to kind of push into her like, oh, it's maybe you're just not used to a guy this emotional. Excuse me.
Well, and not for nothing. I'm 40 years old. I've never in my life been with somebody that has a feeling about something, an emotional reaction to something. They feel offended, they feel hurt by something. And then somebody says, you know what? Have you considered that maybe you shouldn't be offended by that? And they go, you know what? You're right. I'm not offended anymore. That's not how this works. Like, if she feels like she was manipulated, this is not something that she just like jumped to a conclusion on. She
Yeah.
saw a pattern of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
She saw that when this man is in trouble, right away here come the waterworks, and it's the I'm begging, I'm pleading, I need you so much, and then I stop complaining about it, and then that stops.
Yeah.
I think she reached that conclusion, and having somebody go, yeah, maybe you really need to rethink that because I don't think you were manipulated. I wasn't there for any of this, but I've reached the conclusion that I think you're making it up. Is
Yeah.
that possible? Like, no, that's not what this is.
She says, great answer. She's like, two things can't be true. Like, maybe I wasn't used to it, but it could be like when you cry, like if you cry when I say I don't like this, then I would feel like I'm being manipulated. Like, it's not like you're crying when I'm not complaining, but all of a sudden I say I don't like something, all of a sudden cue the waterworks. Again, Edmund is like, oh, when she was saying like, he would cry, then he would get on his knees, and Edmund is like, I was not on my knees. And he's like, I
Yes, you
respect
were.
he said I would respect what you're saying, but he will say that no, this is not true. And then she gives an example, and then when he was being obnoxious when they were moving to the apartments, and then she adds, and this is before you climbed into the cabinets. And I was like, oh, she
Yep.
was annoyed by that.
Yeah. Well, nothing could be less surprising to me than this man getting upset and getting down on his knees and begging her. Like, of course that's what he does. Like, look at how
Yeah.
he behaves. Of course that's his move.
Yeah. His response to what she said was, oh, I didn't know. So
That was not my knees, though. Like, but you were. I mean, obviously you were.
she's like, you know what? It's been a while. It's been a year and a half. It's fair. Maybe you don't remember. Like for me, I remember. And unfortunately, I remember the bad times. And he's like, oh, it's so hard to love someone and give your best. And it wasn't good enough. And it's like, I never heard the good things. And you could tell like he was trying not to cry. Like, okay, you're not going to accuse me of crying one more time. I'm going to get this out. Vanessa says, Edmund, from what you've shared on the show, like you've had a hard life and you're an eternal optimist. And maybe you tend to block out like conflict or the bad times to cope. And I just want to give the floor to either of you guys to clear the air for anything that happened on there. What did you think of that statement?
I don't know what she thought was going to happen next. Because, like, this is the kind of thing you say if there's two people that just, like, refuse to engage with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to reset and just kind of open the floor and say whatever you want to say. They had been talking. They had been
Yeah.
explaining how they felt and what were not. I don't know why she felt this was necessary to do.
I think she was just trying to be neutral and make it in a way like, oh, neither of you are the bad guy. And I just feel like there was just a lot we could have talked about. We didn't talk about the night where he had a meltdown. Like, is it because the other guys had sex? Would you have acted differently? Did you know, like, confirm for us, like, did you know that she wanted to be celibate until she got married? And then if you are, trying to be messy, like KB, if you felt more solid about Edmund, do you think you would have, gone ahead and had sex? But was it something you thought you had to put in place because you were kind of iffy about where you guys were now that you met him outside the pods? Like, just, his mom, like, I understand if he doesn't want to talk about his mom, that's different. But like, your mom's visit, was it okay? Like, just, there was just so much, and not just for them, for all of the couples that we could have mined, that we could have, talked about, that we just didn't. And I think they were trying so hard to not address some of these topics that may have been controversial, that they overcorrected, and we just got not a
nothing.
lot of stuff, and we got nothing. So
I mean, you could have even asked KB, hey, how did it feel watching his mom say that? Like, she saw your Instagram and was like, no, I don't want this for my son. Didn't talk about that at all. Just didn't come up. Like,
yeah,
all of these things would have been interesting to hear their perspective on.
yeah, I think they just made a decision that they were not going to do any of that. KB said, even Miss Welsh, come on, Miss Welsh is not controversial. Like, just talk about a
Not at
woman
all.
who has been there in your life and who showed up for you and who was comforting you. But I don't know. Well, KB said like she feels like she was supposed to go through the experience with him because they had a conversation where she asked him what can she work on, and he said, you can be kinder, babe. And she talked to her mom about it because if you remember, her mom loves her some Edmund, and her mom is like, And she was telling her mom, like, I'm kind. Like, I don't know what he's talking about. And her mom is like, maybe see what kindness looks like to him.
Yeah.
I can't remember
Yep.
who was sitting beside her and was like, oh, come on, mama. Like, good words.
I forget who that was, but yeah.
It was either Madison or Kate. There were the two people sitting beside her. So
I think
she
it
was
might have been
trying.
Madison and Kate was next. Yeah, because when Kate came out, like Megan moved over to the far side of the couch.
Yeah. So she says that she was trying to learn how to love him the way he wanted to be loved. And a lot of people might not understand why she stuck around, but she genuinely loved Edmund and they were in a trial marriage. And in that, for a marriage, it's not like, oh, the tough times and she's going to leave. She's going to stick it out to the very end and see if it gets better or if it doesn't. And the one thing she will say is that he did not deserve to be cussed out then. He does not deserve to be cussed out now. And watching it back, she felt very icky, and that she just wants to let him know that even if it's not her, like no matter how bad he wants to be loved, he should not accept it. She won't accept it, so he shouldn't. And I was like, ugh, you get my bouquet. Go ahead.
Yep, and they
Take it.
hug.
It has no value, but you can have it. My bouquet, that is not what she said. Edmund says, like, he was on the track of like, Edmund doesn't comprehend. I think that's the thing. And he just responds because he's like, well, I was on the track of, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is that she said, whatever she said to him, he was locked in on her and that she's amazing. And he would never have a woman like her if not for this show. And she tears up and then asks him for a hug. But that's exactly what she's saying. Like, it doesn't matter how lucky you feel to have someone. Do not accept them talking to you like trash. Like, anyways.
Don't do it.
Thankfully, that was the end of the reunion. We find out that it's Jordan's birthday. And then who brings the ice cream? Blake, because not enough musical chairs.
We talked about this man multiple times during the reunion. He's right there, and you don't want to have him come out and say anything?
I think Blake was like, what time should I come in? I'm not coming for this shit show. Just tell me what time I should show up with the ice cream. I can downstairs. So he comes in, they sing happy birthday. They serve ice cream in a bowl version of the goblets that they all drink out of from. And the credits roll. No sign of next season. Is it going to be Valentine's Day like usual? We don't have people in the crowd. But they show the scene of Anton coming out in the flip-flops. And that's it. That just no fanfare, no nothing. Just that's it.
No. I mean, there were other things they probably could have shown. I would assume there had to be some kind of footage of Joe and Casey together at like the mixer or something. But to show me just her looking at his toes and judging him, I'm just like, okay, leave Anton alone, please. Like, he didn't deserve this.
I think this reunion is how people are talking about the season. Like, everyone's like, oh, cancel the show. It was dead. It was this. Again, we've talked about it. I didn't think it was that terrible. I do think the reunion ranks high in one of the ones that weren't so great. But it's so funny because I didn't press stop and my Netflix went straight to season 1, episode 1. And I was just like, oh my God, it feels like a lifetime ago. They all look like different people.
Yep.
But I was just looking at it. I saw the Giannina. I saw Carlson. I saw, Lauren and Cameron, Barnett and Amber. And I was just like, oh man, if I had the time and there wasn't like so much content out there, I would totally just rewatch that first season all over again. But I would say like this reunion was it was filler. It did not live up to par, but the season was much better than what the reunion was.
Yeah, the season was fine for me. I maybe I'm weird. I'm not one of these people that watches dating shows thinking I'm going to like see true love flourish. Yeah. Like if it doesn't happen, okay, do we get good fights? Yeah. Do we get people that are like, together and then not together and then back together? That's what I'm here for. I don't need to see, it's like similar with MAFS. I don't need to see a season of MAFS where everyone is happy the whole time and get married at the end. I don't watch it for that. Like,
I need one, at least one or two. I need balance.
One. Yes, I want one couple that is obviously going to say yes, one couple that's obviously going to say no, and everyone else kind of in the middle is what I want from MAFS.
Well, that was it. Another season in the books. Thanks for being on this ride with me, Brian. But before we go, let people know where they can find you.
Yep, you can listen to me at Maths Virgin. We are recording tomorrow for the drop of Maths from this week, so that'll be up there really soon. You can follow us on Instagram and Threads at Maths Virgin. Join our Facebook group, Maths Virgin Fan Club. The group has been a lot more active in the last couple of days, so hop on in there. We have a lot of fun jokes that are going back and forth, and I'm also trying to integrate more other reality TV shows in there. I had a lot to say about Lisa Barlow yesterday, so get down on that.
I'm behind on everything. I haven't even caught up.
This week's episode. Oh.
I haven't caught up yet. Well, you know where to find me, guys. On all the socials, it's AltaCall, MAFS. Don't forget, let me know what you want us to cover next, Italy or Brazil. Please give me a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and stay subscribed so you do not miss out on the next batch of episodes, which would be for maths, that is, for episode 5, 6, and 7, which will be coming out in the course of the next week. Until next time, guys. Bye.